Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna talk, I would say quick review, I don't know how quick this is actually gonna be because I have a couple thoughts on How to Train Your Dragon, specifically the 2025 live action remake. So yeah, we are talking about How to Train Your Dragon, and I thought before we get too started, quick into it, I kind of want to give you some of my thoughts before the movie, just because it might also shape how everybody's gonna have different point of views going into this film, especially because of the original trilogy, not just the first film. And so for me personally, I love the original trilogy. I that first How to Train Your Dragon to me is like one of my favorite movies probably of all time. And then the How to Train Your Dragon 2 and How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World, I also absolutely love and think they're amazing. It's one of my favorite trilogies of all time as well. I love the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. And what was funny too when they first announced the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, because what's funny is that for me, with the Disney live action remakes so far, they haven't really touched upon the Disney movies that were like my childhood yet. Because I've seen because I've been on the internet, I see a lot of people being like, really, they're gonna ruin my childhood favorite film. And because there are Disney movies from the past that I love that have been remade, like Aladdin and Lion King, among others, but I didn't have the nostalgia or that attachment to them like some other people do. So like they announced Lilo and Stitch live action remake. Some people are like, really? Why? Stop it, Disney. Me, I'm like, all right, I'll probably see it if it looks fun. And I did. I have a review of it if you're interested. But that's because no nostalgia for Lilo and Stitch. I liked the movie. I have seen it and I liked it, but no nostalgia for it. Then they announced How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. And then I was like, oh snap, they're finally touching my childhood with their live action remakes, and now I'm nervous because on the one hand, How to Train Your Dragon, the story actually could lend itself to a pretty cool live action remake, but on the other hand, I love How to Train Your Dragon so much. I don't know if I trust you guys making a remake, and I personally am someone that because another thing with live action remakes is everybody's gonna have different point of views on how to handle it. So there are going to be some people who are like, well, you should change a whole lot about the movie because otherwise I'm just gonna go watch the original. So make it different, give me a reason to watch it. And then they absolutely hate it when they make it shot for shot. And then there's people on the other side absolutely hate it when they change anything, want to stay exactly the same, and feel offended if something is changed. And me personally, I really wanted a mix of both. I didn't want a shot-for-shot remake. I wanted them to change some things because of that reason a lot of people have, that I wanted a reason to watch this movie instead of the original. Why would I watch this when I could watch the original? So I wanted them to change certain story things. It's based on a book series. I've never read it, to be honest, but so maybe they couldn't, but probably maybe bring some stuff from the book series into this story, while also keeping specific scenes shot for shot. So while most of the movie is different, specific scenes are shot for shot. Like, for example, the test flight scene, the scene where Toothless and Hiccup first meet, and we see that the iconic hand to Toothless's face pose, Astrid and Hiccup riding Toothless together for the first time. That final battle with the dragon where Toothless falls into the fire or when Hiccup falls into the fire and Toothless dives in after him. Certain things like that I think, yes, keep those shot for shot, do not change a thing. But for other scenes, feel free to change it. Give me a reason why I'm watching this instead of the original. So that was my thoughts going into the film. Potential, this could be fun, and all the trailers looked really good. So that was like my thoughts going into the film. What I think of the actual film now that I have seen it, I really liked it. However, that could be because they did decide to go with the shot-for-shot remake, and like I said before, I absolutely love the original film. So, while I do really like this film, it's also kind of cheating because I love the original. So, I don't even know where to start. I feel that's why it's going to be kind of hard to talk about this, especially because I could just talk about the original. And I actually have thought about giving that a review in and of itself, which may happen, I don't know yet. Because, like, the story they're telling here, I really love the story being told here with Hiccup this ultimate underdog, misunderstood, seems weaker than the rest of the Vikings, but is able to impress everybody by showing his skills with dragons. All this story, him and his relationship with his father, this entire story, him meeting Toothless and becoming friends with Toothless, him and Astrid and their whole story. I love the story being told here. But that's also because I love the story from the original. It's the exact same story. I really like these characters, especially Hiccup, Astrid, and, well, Toothless, duh. But I also really liked all the characters from the original movie also. But since we're talking about characters, let's talk about the cast, because honestly, I think the cast was amazing. I think they did a great job at picking the cast here, and that goes for everybody, but the standouts to me are obviously Mason Thames, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, as Hiccup, Nico Parker as Astrid, and obviously Gerard Butler as Stoic, but I mean, he also voiced him in the animated film, so, but yeah, those three actors stood out, and also the dragon they got to play Toothless, he does an amazing job too, I must say. But yeah, in all seriousness, those three were standouts and were awesome, like perfectly casted in these roles. And I remember being very nervous too when they first when first seeing the cast, I was like, ooh, I don't know, because I don't know if am I going to be able to picture am I going to be able to picture Hiccup, Astrid, and the rest? And I was, especially with Hiccup, to Astrid, Stoic. So that was really well done. But the entire cast did really good. Those were just the standouts to me personally. But everybody else was fun too. And yeah, I don't see, the problem is here now. I don't know what else to say because, like I said, I love the original, and this is shot-for-shot remake. Now there are some small changes here and there. There's some small line changes, some small scene changes, like a scene will play out just slightly different, or we'll have an extra line, or we'll have one less line, or a tweaked line, and stuff like that. Like, there's little changes here and there, but nothing that's, like, story changing. Like, there's nothing that completely changes the story, or changes a character. No, it's just small things. So, which I did appreciate that it wasn't at least an exact copy and paste, because there were slight differences. But the thing is, the differences were so slight that I honestly don't even know if I could tell you them right now. Now, upon rewatch, which I do plan on doing, especially if I'm able to watch them back to back, then I'd be able to tell you the specific differences probably. But as of right now, being a couple hours removed from seeing the original in a couple days, and because I did rewatch the entire trilogy for this film, just because I love that trilogy so much, like I mentioned. But yeah, so that's how minor the differences are. Obviously, I feel like I have to point out the visuals and score are amazing. The score, they're using the exact same score as the animated films, which personally I think is a great choice. Even if this wasn't shot for shot, even if this was like a almost completely different story, I still think they should use the same score, just because that score is amazing. It might be one of my favorite movie scores. Every time I hear it, I get the chills, and it hits me hard in the feels. It's just oof, that music hits me hard in the nostalgia as well. So it was perfect using the music, and the music continues to be amazing here. And the visuals are also great. There are some amazing and beautiful shots in this film, some great cinematography, as well as the CGI of the dragons look really good. One of the things I wanted to say too is that Toothless looks really good, which was something I was very worried about when I first heard about it. And then they showed his design off, and in this entire movie, he's adorable, like in the animated film. They are somehow able to do that greatly. And unlike some people's complaints with like that first Lion King remake, I have not seen Mufasa yet, so I don't know about anything about that, if that improved it or not. But you could feel the emotion and see the emotion in Toothless's face too in this one, in case that was something you were also worried about, which I thought was really good. But yeah, so that's my thing, is I don't have any negatives other than if I'm in the mood for How to Train Your Dragon, I'm gonna watch the original. Now, right now, the live action remake has the advantage to me that it is in the movie theater. So obviously, I'm gonna really enjoy going to see it in theaters, because seeing those amazing visuals on a huge screen, hearing that amazing score and that loud surround sound is awesome. But once it hits streaming and in Blu-ray 4K, when I'm at home and I want to watch How to Train Your Dragon, the chances of me going for the live action remake are very low when I have the original. So, so that is a problem. They didn't give it. It wasn't enough difference for me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna move for a specific kind of How to Train Your Dragon. No, because it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna go for the original. So that's really hard to talk about. And it's something too that I discussed that when it comes to my yearly ranking too, towards at the end of the year, it's gonna be really hard to rank this film. Partially because of the fact that, to me, so far, with the list of movies I have, if the original How to Train Your Dragon for 2010 actually came out this year, it would be at the very top, #1. But the live action remake isn't the original, so it feels cheating. I don't think I'd put it at the top because it's not the original, so I have that weird thing where it's like, it's kind of cheating how high up it might end up being because it's the original but live action, so yeah. Should you see it in theaters? Personally, I would say, honestly, I would say yes. Just because of how much fun it is to see this in the theaters. Though, like I said before, those amazing visuals on that huge screen, that amazing score and that surround sound, and you're getting a good story here. How, unless this movie has not interested you at all. If you had like zero interest in this movie, then there's no need to check it out in the theater. You can either wait for streaming or skip it. But if you wait for streaming, you might as well just watch the original at that point, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I would say see it in theaters if you had any interest in it. And if not, well, you don't have to. Just watch the original. I think that's all I have to say, at least as of right now, about How to Train Your Dragon 2025 live action remake. Honestly, it's possible I could talk about this movie more. I'm not remembering everything that I wanted to talk about, if I'm being completely honest. But it does enough for now for this review. I hope to see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please hit like. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. I might do a ranking of the 4 movies now, just because it gives me an excuse to talk about this franchise that I love. So, maybe I'm looking out for that, because that's probably going to happen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.